Hello and welcome back. In this video I'm going to be doing this quick and easy leather project to make a pan holder for my cast iron pan here. As it's all metal, the heat transfers into the handle and you're unable to grab it while you're using it, which is annoying. So I start here by using this just piece of paper to make a template for the leather that I want to cut out. And I'm working through this process live here of what I want it to look and feel like. And I just use some blue painter's tape to hold things in position while I test them to make sure that they feel right. And you'll notice me going back and forth touching it just to see how it feels in the hand. Now I'm doing some trimming there to start roughing this out. I want to be able to use it like this where it grabs in the back, and I'm going to make a button on this top piece here that I'm trimming to a circle. So it'll kind of fold over like that and clip on. That's the goal. Now I take it off and I put it on the piece of leather that I want to use. It's just a scrap. And I line it up with a corner and then mark an outline here a little larger than the piece just so I have a little room to work with if I make a mistake. And I'm going to trim it out with an X-Acto knife. Now that it's cut out, I can start fitting it as I did with the paper, just to kind of see how it feels in the hand. And mark a point there where the bottom of it is, where the handle ends. Now you can see that line there. That's where I'm going to put my stitching, and then I can trim it afterwards. So here I'm just using a 2-hole punch. Just because it's a radius, I have to make it a little more compact, so I couldn't use the 3 or 4. And I'm just going through one layer at this point, as I was unsure how that circle would be. And now that I'm on the straight coming up to the side, I use the bigger 4-hole punch. I trim those holes on the other side as well, and I'm coming through with some thread to start tying it together. I'm just using a basic stitching technique here. This is my second leather project, total newbie. I'm learning as I go. And this will be a prototype. I'd like to make this again. I just go through and thread it up to that point and then double back on itself. And then to terminate it here, I just make a nice tight knot, and I'll burn off the edges later to clean it up. Now another test fit on the piece to make sure I like the feel of it. Starting to take shape here. I continue that process by just trimming the edge there, leaving about a 1/4 inch or so gap before the stitching. And a lot of test fitting. So there's a lot of back and forth, making sure everything feels right in the hand. Now I realized I had to make a cut here so it wraps around the handle properly. So I just mark that and cut it again with the utility knife, being careful not to cut through the other side of the leather. Now after a few more trims, I start by drilling out where I want my snap to go. Now setting it up here in this snap press, I put the pieces together through the leather and then use the properly sized punch that I probably picked on the 3rd or 4th try. And using that second hole, it ties it right in and gets a nice tight connection. And then repeat that process on the other side here after widening this hole. I'm then able to put the other side of the snap on as I did the first side. I found that the ball peen worked a little better to pull that in, so I'll remember that for future projects. But that's how that snap goes together. I'm going to clean up the edges here with this nail file. Just cleans up those rough sides where from the cut marks. And then I'm burning off that little tie knot that I made. Cleans that up. I believe this is called a burnisher. just a piece of wood, and it's you round over the edges of the leather there, and it cleans it up a little more. Then after a lot of finishing, here's the final piece. I added that little extra piece of leather there off camera just to be sure that the heat wouldn't transfer through that metal snap, and it gets a nice tighter fit as well. That's how it goes together. It's a pretty quick and easy project for the holiday week. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday. You spend some time with friends and family or whatever you do and enjoy it. And thank you for watching this video as always. Be sure to like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And let me know what you'd like to see next. Thank you.